Welcome to 10.5, the official podcast of the OPP Association. I'm one of your co-hosts, Scott Mills.
And I'm your other co-host, Emily Brown. For those new listeners, the OPP Association represents nearly 10,000 members of the Ontario Provincial Police in Canada. Our members are at the heart of everything we do, and they are our greatest strength. And we are dedicated to keeping our members and the public informed about key issues that impact the policing across Ontario.
Well, thank you, Emily. Today we have two guests with us from the OPP Youth Foundation, and they're both in director roles with the OPP Youth Foundations. We have retired OPP Inspector Joe Evans, and we have Sherri deGroot, who is the Director of Brand and Business Development at the OPPA Credit Union in Barrie. And they both volunteer on the board of directors for the OPP Youth Foundation. And I believe Joe is the lead on the committee for the Pathway of Memories and Milestones initiative that is led by the OPP Foundation. So welcome, Joe, and welcome, Sherri.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Scott and Emily, for having us and inviting us today.
Yeah, welcome, Joe and Sherri, and a quick congratulations to Joe on your recent retirement.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, we have some questions for both of you, if that's okay, because this is quite an interesting project, and we want to have as many people understand it as possible and support it. So, first off, I'm going to give a question over to you, Sherri, and I recall this project being called simply the Pathway of Memories in the past. And I understand that there was a name change, and I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the history of the project, why and when it came about, and explain the recent name change for us.
For sure. So the concept of the Pathway of Memories began back in 2009. Retired Chief Superintendent Frank Ryder and his wife Ruby saw the idea when they were visiting Fort Frances. The Lions Club there was selling engraved bricks to fundraise for a local park. People could buy the bricks, have something inscribed on them, and they would be installed in the park. So the idea was brought back to the OPP Youth Foundation. Frank was on the board with the Youth Foundation, and the concept turned into reality in 2014. Commissioner Hawks approved the proposal, and all of the association, COA, OPPA, the Veterans Association, and CBRE all expressed their full support for the project. So then a committee was formed in 2016, and retired Inspector Dave Osborne was the lead to start. The project quickly came to fruition with the first engraved stones being installed at headquarters in 2018. So the idea was to create a physical space where people could pay tribute to a deserving OPP member or a team by donating an engraved stone. So that would include anyone, uniformed, civilian, auxiliary, current members, retirees, friends, supporters, and those who have passed. So the stones are inlaid into the terrace at OPP General Headquarters in Orillia, and over time they've created this powerful and lasting visual record of people that have contributed to and continue to shape the OPP legacy. It's a place where people can go to reflect, remember, and also celebrate achievements. So then this is where the name change comes in. So last year we made the decision to change the name to the Pathway of Memories and Milestones, adding in the and milestones part. And the change was really about clarity. Over time, the committee realized that some people thought the stones were only for memorializing those people that have passed, but in reality, the project was always meant to recognize both memories and milestones, and to honor living as well as deceased people, and to celebrate ongoing contributions of OPP members. So we thought that the new name better reflects the full spirit of the initiative. It's about remembrance, yes, but it's also about recognition, celebration, and gratitude. So the committee has made that change, and we've seen some changes on the committee as well, and that is where Joe comes in. He's coming on this year as lead for the committee, so I think that's going to bring some freshness and help the pathway grow year after year.
Thanks for that, Sherri. Appreciate it. So over to you, Joe. Out of curiosity, what are some of the reasons that somebody would consider donating or buying a stone and dedicating it to an OPP member?
Thanks, Emily. There's many reasons for the stone, and it is a donation. You don't buy it; it's a donation to the foundation. But you heard Sherri say that people, it's not just to memorialize people, it's for retirement. Myself, personally, I received one when I retired. So there's anniversaries, there's retirement, it's for promotions, birthdays, graduations. You can do it for almost anything. Mother's Day, Father's Day, you can donate to someone special that's within the OPP so that they're on the memory and milestones pathway. And even Christmas, recruit classes, the Veterans Associations, we're starting to see stones that are donated to the foundation in just for the milestones of the OPP veterans, different veterans associations across the province. Groups or teams, like Sherri said. Also specialty units. I was part of a couple of different specialty units within the OPP, tactics and rescue, that kind of thing. And you'll see some of those stones hopefully starting to appear. But we're seeing more and more on the retirement fund as our main stone that we're getting for the donations that we receive.
I think it's just a great idea to honor both those who are no longer with us and as well as the people that are still serving. I think it's a great initiative, and I know it means a lot to a lot of people, and it's growing and growing more and more all the time. So question for you, Sherri, how many stones are there currently?
So we started back in 2018, and we now have 634 stones currently in the pathway. So it's growing quickly, but there's still lots of room, and we are accepting donations to be added into the pathway for this year.
So out of curiosity, how much money has been raised so far, and what does the money go towards supporting?
That's a great question, Emily. So far, with the donations received, we're looking at about $190,000. And out of that $190,000, we're looking at approximately $120,000 that goes directly to the foundation to support disadvantaged children around the province. And it's focused on 3 youth programs: funding to support OPP youth camps hosted by OPP members across the province. Also, opportunities for youth to participate in extracurricular and sports programs, and that's identified by OPP members. And last, but definitely not least, is the bursary programs to support students who want a form of post-secondary education.
Again, great work. A lot of youth benefiting from those funds. And Sherri, how much does a stone cost if you're going to make a donation?
So the cost of a stone is a donation of $300. With that $300, 2/3 of it goes back to the Youth Foundation to support all the good programs that Joe mentioned. And that also includes the engraving, installation, and maintenance of the stone and the pathway. You'll see some of the Youth Foundation directors out there donating their time, making sure the pathway is kept clean and maintained so that it looks good for upcoming events at OPP headquarters.
And out of curiosity, how many characters are on each stone?
That's a great question, Emily. There's 4 lines on each stone, and it allows you 14 characters per line. The only thing I would suggest that we've just recently confirmed is that we can't put any special characters like hearts or anything like that on the stones. So it's just your normal characters, if you will, and like I say, 4 lines.
Good to know. Sherri, I know this is an annual event and there's a deadline every year for purchase. And I understand that deadline for 2025 is coming up. So can you elaborate on the deadline of of the donations for the stones for each year?
Yes, so our deadline for ordering a stone is June 30th. That allows us the time to have the stones engraved and have the stones brought back to headquarters and installation before the ceremony in the fall. You can order the stones all year long, but you have to have that order in by June 30th. So there's still some time, but get your order in now.
All right, so we're going to flip to the actual ceremony itself, and I've had the opportunity to attend this ceremony, and it's really it's very memorable, and I look forward to attending again. So, Joe, can you fill our listeners in on the details of the ceremony itself?
Absolutely, and you're always welcome. Everyone is welcome to attend the ceremony. This year's ceremony is held Monday, September the 8th at 9 o'clock in the morning. And it is held just out front of General Headquarters in Orillia, 777 Memorial Ave. There's be special invitations that go out to all the people that are being named this year on the pathway, and all the people who actually made the donation. They will get a separate invitation. So it's something to see, and the more the merrier.
And Sherri, this one's for you. What is the donation process? How do you actually do the donation and get written down what you want on the stone and things like that to dedicate one?
So right now our form is online on our OPP Youth Foundation website, and I'm sure you'll post that, but it's www.opputhfoundation.ca. There is a form on there you can fill out. It helps you lay out your wording for your stone, and we'll help with that as well. As the registrations come in, they get filtered through some of the committee members, and we'll get back to you if there's any suggested changes for your stone. But you can download the form from the Youth Foundation website. You can pay online with a credit card, email money transfer, or send a check. But our newest thing is actually Joe's wife, Brenda Evans, has recently joined the Youth Foundation board as well, and she's currently working on digitizing the application. So right now, you'd have to print it off. You can fill it in online, but you'd have to print it off and send it in or attach it. But Brenda's working on having the application streamlined and digitized. So that will flow through better electronically soon. And we thank her for coming on board and helping with that.
Now, out of curiosity, Joe, do you have any personal connections to any of the people named on the stones?
Absolutely, I do. As I said earlier, I've got one myself when I retired. My wife Brenda, that started with the Cornwall Police Service and then transitioned to the OPP in 2011 until her retirement. She has got one as well that demonstrates that she was Cornwall and OPP. Plus, there's many friends that I have also spoken to and said, hey, you know what, like, you should really think about this as a great retirement gift, a great birthday gift, like I spoke to before. So yes, there's many people when you walk along those 634 stones that you go, hey, here's his stone, hey, there's her stone. So it is, and then you just it's memorable, and like you say, the milestones that are there. So I think it's a great thing. That's why I put in to join and help out here, and hopefully we can keep this going.
Sherri, over to you. As any personal connection for you with people that have been dedicated on there?
Yeah, it's nice to see some names on there of people I've worked with over the years. I've been in my role here coming up to 10 years, so I've worked with lots of people around the OPP, and actually I'm donating a stone for myself this year to commemorate the work I've done on the board with the Friends of the OPP Museum and with the OPP Youth Foundation. So that's one thing we like to emphasize, that it isn't just for OPP officers. The pathway of memories and milestones is about honoring the entire OPP family. So that includes civilians, staff, auxiliary members, and even those people who work closely or support OPP members in different ways. So I'm a prime example of that. I don't work for the OPP, I work for the OPPA Credit Union. But we support OPP officers and staff, and we're not employed by the OPP, but we know our members who are, and we see and hear their dedication and their sacrifices, and we want to support and celebrate them as well. So if you're someone who's worked alongside the OPP members, maybe in a support role or through a partner organization, donating a stone can be a really meaningful way to show your appreciation. It's a chance to publicly acknowledge someone's impact, their dedication, or the positive influence they've had on others. It's also something that you can do to recognize a mentor or a team, like Joe mentioned, that made a difference, or even to honor a retirement or a long-standing partnership. It's really about celebrating all those relationships and contributions that have helped shape the OPP community from every angle.
Well, that's great. Thank you for clarifying that. I think that's important information for people to know. We're winding down already, and over to you, Joe. Do you have any final words?
Yes. Our as you stated, our members are the most are at the heart. I think you said it. They're at the heart of everything we do and are our greatest strength. And as Sherri just stated, it includes everyone from the OPP and the different relationships we have across the province and even further. So this becomes a win-win because people are recognized, teams are recognized, and they're put down on this pathway for years and years, engraved in stone. So from that, the youth also garner a lot of assistance, the disadvantaged youth throughout the province. Like I said, it's a win-win. For the youth, it's that necessary leg up that they may not have been given if it wasn't for all these donations that are coming in. So, you've got your name in stone, so you've got a memory there. You've got a milestone of your career or the person that you're celebrating. And then the youth end up with a bursary or they go to camp, with the great programs that we have for youth around the province. So it's a win-win on both sides. And as I said earlier, I really hope it continues.
I just think this is such a fabulous idea. So, and I'm glad you mentioned that you can purchase one for yourself, Sherri. Thank you for everything that you do. You quietly work so hard in the background for many years to support all of our members, and it's greatly appreciated. So thank you for that. And Joe, thanks for your years of service. I know you've been quite instrumental in the honor guard and drill, and you're quite a recognizable face out there for the OPP. So I'm glad you're staying involved, and you've got Brenda involved, and it's just a great team. There's so many. If you go look on that OPP Youth Foundation website, you'll see so many great people that are volunteering their time on the board of directors of this organization. So very, very worthwhile. So Sherri, over to you for some last words.
I think just like you said, anyone can get a stone. I'll be happy to see yours in there, Scott, soon. But don't wait. The deadline's approaching soon. It's a terrific gift. If you're not giving it to yourself, it's a terrific gift for any occasion, especially because, everybody has everything nowadays. And what do you get people? It's always a struggle. So get them a milestone, a memory stone.
Great information. Thank you both for taking the time to speak with us today. It's very much appreciated. You have been listening to Sherri deGroot and Joe Evans talking about the pathway of memories and milestones. If you like what you hear, please hit subscribe on the podcast platform of your choice so you never miss an episode. New episodes are currently being released each month. If you have any questions for Joe or Sherri, or have ideas for future episodes, please email us at communications@oppa.ca. Until next time, thanks for listening and stay safe.